Space is the final nightmare. I'm telling ya. The final frontier and also, disgusting. I hate puke. I don't have that phobia some people have, but yeah, I'm like, ew, 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 ew. Every time, in anime, there's like that whole thing where people throw up rainbows. I'm like, ew. Good evening, Zon. Hi, Ranger. Excuse me. I saw someone else popped in. Who was it? Snewet? Hello. Oh my god. I have a hilarious yet slightly concerning story. Literally, I'm sitting here, getting everything ready for stream. Start stream. And when you faintly hear music or conversation and you're like, did I leave the TV on? Did I leave a video on? Did I leave my phone on or something like that? I could not find anything that's making the noise. I was like, oh cool, great. I'm just having auditory hallucinations now. Fantastic. Either that or a ghost just moved in just in time for Halloween, but we're not thinking about that one. You haven't thrown up since you were 7? Now that is dedication. Hi, Zexu. I avoid throwing up at all possible, but if it happens, it happens. Especially since, my antidepressants, you have to take them with food, and if you don't take them with enough food, you get the worst heartburn ever. But the good news, bad news is, it's really easy to fix. Because the bad news is that type of heartburn caused by medication doesn't respond to the antacids. But you can't just throw up. Empty out your stomach and it gets rid of the medicine, and then suddenly your heartburn goes away. So yeah, that's fun. What else happened today? Oh yeah, got the wrong emote? Or right emote, I guess. I always knew something was going on with you two. Hi, Debola. God, I got no work done at the apothecary today because, the internet kept going down. I'm in the middle of doing something, and then the application crashes. I get training in, I can't wait for someone to be like, well, you see, you took the training, but you're technically you failed because you completed it in 3 minutes, and it's supposed to take, upwards of 20 minutes. It's my internet cut out on the final quiz. I was not gonna sit through the entire training all the training slides, all 59 slides again. So I skipped right to the end. Sorry, I don't got time for that. We'll see if tomorrow's better, because it's it was everyone. My manager across the province is super insistent about me getting him a ticket number for the internet being down. I'm like, wow, You did really like my email from yesterday, didn't you? I didn't mention it yesterday, but since they're making us go back into the office, they outright said in an email that there will be spot checks based on IP address. I don't think the managers like that I responded with yay surveillance. Sarcasm. Like, sorry, I can't believe y'all have nothing better to do than to babysit a bunch of adults to make sure that, you know, we're actually wearing out your chairs. Funny thing, though, Iduna and I were talking about this, how if I didn't care about my job at the apothecary, I could do the funniest experiment. Because if they're trying to pin where I am based on IP, I live within 2 kilometers of the apothecary. Iduna was like, depending how accurate this tracking method is, they may not even be able to pin you down to the building. Like, I could do an experiment so funny if I didn't care about losing my job. Just work from home and see if anyone realizes it. Like, ha! I mean, people will realize it. Because all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we haven't seen Diana in, like, 2 weeks. Just because, you know, I'm the only person in my team at that location doesn't mean the other people don't know how to look up my information, and then my manager. Someday, right? We will experiment for science. What could possibly go wrong? But yeah, I just found it funny that my manager was asking for the ticket number multiple times. I'm like, why? You think I was lying to you? You trust me, if I just wanted to lie and not work, I would have just called in sick. I don't want to sit here in this building that gives me migraines. Like, I had one this morning. I started getting the aura symptoms. Like, I had my vision going. I was exhausted. I took meds right at the right time, but it was almost nice that the internet kept cutting out. I just crawled under my table, and I'm like, I'm just gonna chill here. It's my own private, quiet room. It's not completely, you know, pitch black, but I'm small enough that I can crawl under there and, like, pull the computer chair close, and I kind of, like, box myself in and no one can see me unless they actually look for me. The joys of being short. Sometimes it really do work in your favor. Oh yeah, I barely touched Duet Night Abyss since yesterday. I played a little bit before the stream, so we'll see how that all goes. And what is it? There's a new one coming out like tomorrow, where you're a conductor and you're on like a train or something. Like, it's still sci-fi fantasy. I'm like, ooh. Once again, my computer about to explode. Explosions, everything dying. It's fine. It's fine! One day I will get the bigger hard drive. Well, SSD, I guess, is technically the correct term, but whatever. There it is. Resonance Solstice is what it's called. Choo-choo! It drops, tomorrow. real-time card battles with train simulation. Beautiful. Reminds me of, oh, I don't remember the name of the anime. There was that anime where it was sort of like Attack on Titans, but they were on a train. All I Oh, Kotetsujo no Kabaneri. There we go. It was Kabaneri. You know that one. Nice. Someone else who does. It was okay. It was pretty decent. I remember it was decently popular when it came out. Not like super popular, but Kabane are the monsters. Ah. Makes sense. Yeah, Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. That was the English title. It was pretty good. I remembered enjoying it, but that was like almost 10 years ago at this point. Get out of here. Put me out of my misery. Good music? It was... Was it Sawano? It was indeed Sawano. Of course it had good music. That also wouldn't have helped the Attack on Titan comparisons because Sawano also did the music for Attack on Titan. What? Robbie David was in the dub for this? That I might actually need to watch. Robbie Damon does a lot of stuff, but not a lot of anime. Sawano and AIM are... Ooh. By which studio? Oh my god, okay. So the not Attack on Titan anime by the Attack on Titan studio with the Attack on Titan, like, composer. Ah. Egoist! Oh my god, Egoist. Related to that, Amelie, also known as Monarch, the VTuber, is releasing a new cover album soon. But all she did was songs from Mecha Anime and Guilty Crown. I'm like, Amelie singing TM Revolution? I'm here for this. 2 songs from Gundam Seed? Heck yes! Guilty Crown, yes, it was Ryo from Supercell, aka the guy who did Black Rock Shooter, and also Love is War, I believe, was also Ryo. Like, Ryo is one of those Vocaloid composers that actually went on and had some decent success. Not only did he do music for anime, he did it for some live action shows as well. Black Rock Shooter looks fascinating. Yeah, they made an anime of it, which was crazy. Kind of wish they had done more anime based on some of the Hatsune Miku / Vocaloid songs, because some of them have some really interesting concepts. the whole Daughter of Evil saga could make a cool story. You are correct. But yeah, they tried it with Black Rock Shooter, and then I think people got too upset that it was too different from the song, and I'm like, so basically you just wanted a Miku anime where Miku is not Miku. Gotcha. So I think after that they didn't really try anything else. Which is too bad, but I suppose it is what it is. Maybe someday, I mean, we have the Project Sekai movie now. When that is actually available online, us Moonbeans will have to do a watch-along. We're all Miku fans, we all gotta watch the Miku movie. Every few weeks you check. Oh, yeah. Usually it takes at least 8 months for theatrical release to be put up on the streaming sites and stuff. Even before, like, the official subbing, like simul subs and stuff like that, it would still take 8 months because the fan subbers would have to wait for the home release to come out so they could rip the movie off the disc. So yeah, traditionally the movies have always taken a lot longer. So hopefully not much longer. Yeah, fingers crossed. You'd like the Blu-ray for? Yes! That would be nice. You could dub it for yourself. Alright. I guess I'm voicing all the girls. Miku, Ichika, Saki, Kohane. Random question. What's my favorite color? Pink! Pink, purple, red, and yellow are my top 4. Just had to make sure. Just had to check. Asking a VTuber their favorite color, like, what color am I? I mean, I thought about being purple, but I didn't like being purple as much as I liked being pink. So, you know? A lot of unusual ones out there, yeah. That said green or purple? I mean, you also gotta think about what color works with your theme and your branding and stuff like that. Some people can't tell the difference. Oh god. Yeah, being colorblind is a thing. So, Niji Sanji En now has 3 people who are colorblind. And it's hilarious because the colors that they can't see are in their designs. So, like, yeah. Like, at some point, someone in chat was like, hey, do you know XYZ is in your hair? Like, this color's in your hair? And they're like, what? Are you serious? I literally can't see it. The Japan edition of the Project Sekai movie came out today. Ooh. We might be getting it on streaming sites soon then. Yahoo! It's just confirmation bias. Many things are confirmation bias. Such as life. Alrighty. Boop. Why did I meow when we were transitioning scenes? Why not? Been seeing so many things related to your DNA study this week. Ah, yes, DNA! So there's DNA, the genetics, DNA, duet night abyss, and then there's DNA as in DNA Angel, the anime. My beloved, your beloved. Okay, there we go. You guys should have audio. Let me know if there's not, because for some reason it's not showing up in my mixer. You hear none? Okay, interesting. Alrighty. Let me fix this then. Very weird, okay. Cause yeah, I have it set up that my mixer will only show active sources. So I was like, huh, I literally see no source, so I have 2 desktop audio. But not application. Ah, there we go. I had to take off Studio though for it to work. Oh. That's not usually what I have. Usually I don't need to do that, but okay, OBS is having its own little meltdown. That's fine. That's normal. OBS being OBS. Surprise. Sigh. It works different today. At least it did randomly, because there was the one time it just randomly decided it wasn't gonna recognize my mic as a mic no matter what I did. VTube Studio check, Mix It Up check, OBS check until stream turns on. So true. The worst is you look at everything on OBS and you're like, yeah, that looks good. But you forget to plug in your mic until you start stream. And then as soon as you plug in your mic, there's issues and it's like, I already started stream, god damn it. Because as much as you try and be prepared, unless you have like an actual checklist that you're going through, there's always a chance you'll forget something. Launches all of their programs with one click. I've seen people do that. Someone used to have it that like something more complicated enough that, and they tied a similar program to that to their Steam Deck. And so like this I believe it broke once, Musk started removing all of the external authorization stuff out of Twitter. But, like, they pushed the button and, like, you know, it would open all of this stuff. It would do this. It would post a standard template stream starting tweet. Like, it was crazy. Like, damn, way to automate your flow, quite literally. But yeah, some people can be really creative with that stuff, which is cool. For me, the only time I've ever forgotten to open something is usually sometimes I'll forget, mix it up. And of course, the one time I forgot to open VTube Studio before starting is, like, you know, when VTube Studio and Steam were having that meltdown. Alrighty, so last time on Ace Attorney Investigations, we determined that there is a potential discrepancy / error in the coroner's autopsy report. So we called her back to go like, hey, look, this is what the report says. Did you write this? And then, of course, it turns into a whole ordeal. Because we can't just hand her the document and go, please read this and confirm that this is exactly what you submitted to the prosecution. Alas. Alrighty. Oh, there we go. The game itself was hiding behind one of my windows. Like, it was up on OBS, and then I was like, okay, this works. Looked over to the other monitor, is like, where'd the game go? No way there's a mistake in Grandma's report. Not ever, you mean. Double negative, girl. That's not correct. I've been dealing with the dead longer than you've been alive, Sonny Jill. Me writing something wrong is about as likely as ow! And what the heck do you think I stand to gain by doctoring a file, huh? Don't make a lick of sense. And that's all she has to say. Nothing funky here. See, it's just as I thought. There's no chance the good doctor doctored her findings. Just a minor grandma error. Incredible. Someone give this one a gold star for puns. Beautiful. Also, doctor doctored. What a sentence. And you swear by the holy goddess that this testimony is true? Of course! Grandma's never told a lie in her...
Objection!
There's a chance she's told a lie. Let's not be like that. Your opinions are not necessary, Nurse Needler. Your grandmother is the subject of this inquiry, not you. Also, biased opinion. Speaking of confirmation bias, like... Not necessary? That's not fair. I'm the only ally poor grandma has. Go ahead and shout objection left and right, but you best be prepared then, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. Oh, I'm more than prepared. I'm ready to expose the truth. Just leave it to me. The so-called mistake. About a cycling. Ow. That sound effect. Okay, this is the only weird. So let's just...
Hold it!
The victim appears to have put this raincoat on after sustaining the head injury. And yet, there was not a single drop of blood in the chest area of her raincoat. Therefore, she must have been hit in the head before she was stabbed in the chest, making it pre-mortem. Very rarely do you hear pre-mortem. Usually post-mortem? Sure. Ow! Girl. Bonk. Yeah, by the way, that bot who got banned is named Variable Footstool 3. I don't need you to teach me how to suck eggs, young man. I'm sorry? I've never heard that saying. My Dane report already says what you just said, don't it?
Objection!
Your report states that the head injury appears to have been sustained post-mortem. Which is the exact opposite of what I just said. Oh! Sure. I diligently dictated that report to Florence here, and she wrote it all down, just like I said. So it's Florence's fault. Something happened to it after that were nothing to do with me. You dictated it? Could you please tell me more? Oh, can we finally, like, present the report and go, like, did you actually write this? Letter, stub. Coroner's findings.
Objection!
Aha. Dr. Hertz, I'd like you to take a look at the report for yourself. Oh, I'll read it to you. Ow! Uh-oh. That ain't what I said. This ain't what I said at all. What? What do you mean exactly? Granny? I don't know. But I can't say that. Miss Needler, if you're attempting to bury Dr. Hertz truth, I will gladly hear her confession myself on behalf of the goddess of justice. Dr. Hertz seems to be telling Judge Gaval something in private. What? I see. Very well. Allow me to relate to everyone what you have just told me. Ain't no doubt about what I said. I dictated my findings to Flores just like I told you I did. The fuddle-headed young thing must have wrote it down wrong or something. Wow, that was a great impression. Yes, but was it really necessary? So in summary, there was an error in the report. Whether it's Florence's fault or, you know, what's his face? And it was all because of you, Nurse Needler. But True facts have now been shown to be that the head injury occurred prior to the chest wound. The question now, Miss Needler, is why did you introduce such an error? Just a minute, Verity. You make it sound as if the poor girl did it deliberately. Whereas to me, it seems like she just made a little mistake. Pre-mortem, post-mortem, they're practically the same word, don't you think? I mean, depending how you hear them, I mean, yes. Except they mean two deliberately opposite things. This was deliberate, no doubt about it. Oh, don't be like that. But why would she want to change it? Exactly, thanks! Ow! You won't get away that easy. Explain yourself, young lady. But Grandma, You submitted a falsified report, an act that led to Kay being accused of murder. You owe us an explanation. But I can't tell you. Not don't want to, but can't. Oh. Somebody's making her do this. Interesting. This is really rather unpleasant, don't you think? Ganging up on this poor, considerate girl who's only looking after her grandmother. She has nothing to do with anything. She simply made one tiny mistake, so why not leave it there?
Objection!
You'd like that, wouldn't you? Because the only person her testimony would hurt is you. What on earth do you mean, my boy? Yuki boy! Seeing as how you're now a de facto ex-prosecutor, you're going to need to explain yourself, better than that. I'd be happy to. I'll even spell it out for you. Nurse Needler's role in the crime was very important because she's a co-conspirator, I'm guessing? Nurse Needler doctored the report in order to cover for her accomplice. Ow! Oh? So she's a co-conspirator. This innocent little thing? Apparently so. Do share your grounds for making such a wild accusation, Yuki boy. The murder couldn't have been committed by one person working on their own. Move the body, that does it. I mean, yeah, she doctored the report, but that does it. I don't know why it's maintain attendee numbers, but that's the only one that makes sense, so. If The auctioneer was the murderer and the victim was one of the attendees. Oh, wait, if they keep the numbers, then it gives everyone who attended the auction an alibi, I guess. The fact that a witness testified to there being 11 attendees even after the murder doesn't make sense. Hey, watch it! Y'all gotta call my good word into question now, too? That is not what we're doing. Lotta, please. Lotta, chill. Lotta, chill. That's not what I meant. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I'm taking you at your word, which means there must be a co-conspirator. I know it's hard, my boy, but sometimes you just have to accept that you were wrong. Are we, though? Are we wrong? Press F to doubt.
Objection!
I wasn't wrong. I just hadn't considered the possibility of the killer having an accomplice. But as soon as we do, things start to fall into place. If the killer's accomplice returned to the auction room in place of the victim, there would indeed have been 11 attendees both before and after the murder. Shit! Just shoot! Lighter! Well, so that's your thinking, is it? It's certainly intriguing. But surely the imposter would have been spotted right away? No, because everyone's wearing freaking masks like a bunch of weirdos. I don't imagine that Nurse Needler looks strikingly different from the victim in build and stature. With the help of a mask, she could have very easily replaced Miss Rayner without anybody noticing. Well, Nurse Needler, is that what happened? Did you take the victim's place at the auction? I wouldn't do something like... Now tell us, the ringleader, who were they? I can't tell you, I just can't. It hurt Grandma too. Ow! But Grandma? Don't you worry about me, I can take it. You just tell me everything, child. But... Grandma! Damn. So I was right. She was an accomplice. Miss Needler? Why? Well, Miss Needler? Can you explain yourself? Yes? Uh-huh. Oh, thank you, Grandma. But I'm alright now. I confess it. I changed places with Miss Rayner. So you admit that you were working with the ringleader? Yeah. I was helping them. I don't know how, but they found out Miss Renner was going to attack them. The culprit was going to be attacked by the victim? I mean, not the most far-fetched thing we've ever heard in the Ace Attorney universe. They were pretty sure it was going to happen that night, so they made a counter plan. They wanted to strike first, and they wanted me to help them. I was told to go to the storeroom before the auction began and wait there. Now hold on right there, Missy. I didn't see nothing and my eyes don't lie. If you'd have been there before the auction, I would have bumped right into ya. I was there the whole way through and you weren't there for a bit of it. But I'm not lying. Oh, that's easy for you to say, but you were lying about altering that report only a few minutes ago.
Objection!
Damn, and suddenly he's against her. Huh. I think we're all well aware of the number of potential hiding spots in that room. Are we? Where exactly are you trying to say our friend the nurse was hiding? In the coffin? Because there was like a box with like the victim's blood on it. It's the only thing that makes sense. There,
Take that!
clothes box. She hid inside this clothes box. She liar. Oh, she did she? Fuck. Huh, well, I was there the whole time, even before I moseyed on in. But, like I done told y'all, it had them chains all around it. Oh my gosh, she was chained up! Girl is crazy. Wanted to hide in there myself, really, but it was locked up tight, so I had to go elsewhere. I imagine that's because Nurse Leela was already lying in there by the time you arrived. That's right, we didn't want anybody to open it or it would have really blown our cover. So the ringleader told me to climb in and wait until it was time for my part of the plan. And then they wrapped the whole box up in chains. I think they took the elevator downstairs not so long after. It was just before the auction was due to start. So as the auction was beginning, you and Miss Hart would have been the only people in the storeroom? Yeah, I think so. The auction proceeded as it always did, until a certain customer came upstairs to complete her purchase. That was when the incident occurred. Miss Hart overheard the victim and the culprit exchanging words around them. You betcha I was hiding behind that statue there, shaking like a dang leaf the whole time. In the middle of their quarrel, Miss Rainer was killed by the auctioneer. Rest in peace. that the auctioneer then carried Miss Rayner's body over to the clothes box. From which Nurse Needler emerged and swapped places with the victim. After placing Miss Rayner's body inside the box, Nurse Needler's role now was to pretend to be Miss Rayner. The two of them returned to the storeroom below as if nothing had happened. Does that about sum up what happened in the storeroom? Nurse Needler, sorry. Yes, in fact, that's exactly what happened. Hold up, so you just waltzed right back on in and nobody noticed? Apparently. This is two completely different people we're talking about. You telling me not one of the other folks there at the auction caught it on? Why would they? The other auctioneers had no reason to notice the difference when Nurse Needler entered because she had stolen the victim's clothes. There we go. Makes sense. As we've seen, Miss Rayner and Nurse Needler are about the same build. What's more, the auction rules required attendees to wear their masks at all times. If Nurse Needler were wearing the same clothes as Miss Rayner, nobody would have been any the wiser. No, and they weren't. Ow! I borrowed Miss Rayner's clothes! And I got bashed on the head a few times, apparently. And left the poor child in her smalls? Have you no respect, girl? No, Grandma, I thought the same thing. It would have been nice to leave her like that. So when the ringleader wasn't looking, I put that raincoat on her. So that's how Miss Rayner came to be wearing it. Thus, the auction was able to carry on as before. Guess the part where I caught the red raincoat on film came just after. Yeah, must be. Then it all makes sense. Right after that was when I went over and looked downstairs through the gap in the elevator. Spied me 11 happy little auction goers. Then I snuck to my little hidey hole. Don't tell me you were hiding back there the entire time after that. Well, that is not exactly. What is it? Did something happen? So maybe I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out. Unconscious, you might say. What? What happened? Oh, nothing much. Kind of silly, really, but, There was this sudden loud noise, and it startled me just a little bit, you know? Alright, maybe more than a little, but I just witnessed a murder. Can't blame a girl for getting jumpy. Guess that got my heart shook and my head faint, and before I knew it, I was out like a light. Rip. By the time I came to, it was the next dang day, and there y'all were clanking down that ladder. I see. So you were startled by a loud noise and fell unconscious. That's crazy. I suppose that means you don't know what happened after that? I mean, that would make logical sense. Not per se. Well, after the auction was over, all the masks were back on the rack. So I reckon the guests done finished up and filed out one by one like they were supposed to. Thank God no one noticed her, huh? Nurse Needler, once the auction had restarted, what exactly were you doing? I was pretending to be Miss Ringer and placing bids just as the ringleader wanted. Damn, what if you won, though? What were you gonna do then? You got no money. I'm assuming, anyway. I had to win the clothes box as I'd been instructed. Oh, so no one leaves with bloody evidence, I guess? Makes sense. It had a dead body inside, after all. Y'all could have moved the body, but I guess not. Imagine if somebody else had won it. Would have been real trouble then. So you had no idea that the victim had vacated the box in the meantime. Just darn got up and walked away. That she did. No, not until we came back up so I could pay for it. That was when we noticed. The ringleader told me to look for her right away. Can't even kill someone properly these days. What do they teach y'all? Except I found some other girl collapse at the foot of the ladder instead. It was Kay. Kay. Yes, she must have fallen from up on the roof and been knocked unconscious. Guess the victim must have left that hatch wide open. That would have explained it. been so shocked by seeing Miss Rinner fall motionless right in front of her that she wouldn't have seen the open hatch and fallen right through it. Geronimo! And good night. That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of Kate crash landing onto the storeroom floor. Ouch. That would hurt. Yeah, I suppose. Can't believe something like that done knocked me out for so long, though. So in summary, by the time Miss Needler found Kay, you were already sound asleep. Rip. I think we've got a good enough grasp on what occurred up to this point. Miss Nurse Needler. Why do I keep saying Miss when it clearly says Nurse? If you would continue. Sure. So I found Kay, and next I found Miss Rinner, and I put them both in the clothes box. Damn. Excuse me, we couldn't risk any of the auction goers seeing them. That would have caused a real hullabaloo. Was that your idea? Or the ringleaders? Theirs. But putting the raincoat on Miss Rinner was my own idea. So I tried to get rid of it before they found out what I'd done. I imagine they were none too pleased when it showed up as a surprise piece of evidence in this case. And lastly, the ringleader and I put her in an auctioneer's outfit we'd prepared. Of course, which completed the deception and made everyone think she was the auctioneer. All in all, the auction finished up without anybody noticing anything. And that was that. Now that we know the extent of your crimes, Nurse Needler, if you have anything further to share, I'd advise you to do so immediately. I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sorry. That's all I know. Oh, except for one other thing. It did seem a little strange, I guess. When I was borrowing Miss Rinner's clothes, I took everything I could, but I couldn't take her hair, obviously, so ow! Dang right you couldn't take her hair. What kind of medical professional are you? That's where you draw the line. So taking her clothes was okay? No, it wasn't. Remember? She gave her grief for that, too. Our hair was totally different. The style, the length, everything. I kind of panicked. But the ringleader thought of everything, including wigs. 2 of them, in fact. There was a straight one and a wavy one. They were both stashed in the clothes box. 2 wigs? But why? Right? I wondered that, too. I thought maybe they were worried she might have changed up her style. Anyway, I took the straight one. That was the one that matched her hair on the day. Leave it a wavy wig in the box. And that's everything you know? There's nothing else you're forgetting? No. Huh? No, really. Grandma, that's everything. And I take it you really have no idea who the ringleader might be? Sorry, I only know they were in charge of the auction, so you agreed to help? Some weirdo in a mask? I didn't see them without their mask on. And they were pretty careful to keep their identity a secret from everyone. If I can't get something concrete on them... We doomed. We cooked. Oh ho ho. Well, Miles, are we about done? No? Frickin'. The water coming out of his glasses gets me every time. Because it does nothing to prove that Kay Faraday isn't the ringleader. Really, that's where we're going with it now? And justice must prevail. We can't change the law, even for your sake. Whoosh. Is this it? Am I not going to be able to save Kay?
Objection!
Franziska! Franziska, what are you doing here? As I told you before, Miles Edgeworth, where the case leads, I follow. Your dedication is an inspiration to us all. But don't go getting the wrong idea, little brother. I'm only here to deliver the truth regarding the suspect. I'm certainly not here to forgive you for abandoning the way of the prosecutor. I understand that. You should thank your former subordinate for what I'm about to share. In his desperation to help Kay Faraday, he gave me a valuable piece of information. Detective Gumshoe did that? Good old Gumshoe! You can always count on him. Prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth, for the final piece of the puzzle. Rosie Rinner's head wound. Oh no, we already figured this out! Rosie Rinner's head wound was the first of the injuries she suffered, not the second. Awkward. Her name is Gavel? Yes. And she has a gavel. Correct. Welcome to puns. Also, her name is Verity. As in verite. As in truth. Well, somebody say something. I'm so sorry, Franziska. You are late to the party. Yes, there's no easy way to say this, Franziska, but, we already proved that ourselves. You... What? Yes, just a few minutes ago. Woo! Well, why didn't you say so sooner? You didn't exactly give us a chance. And I suppose you know about the murder weapon too? No, not yet. Ha! Good. Then listen up. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt object bearing a circular surface. The wounds to the chest were actually inflicted post-mortem. Totally not assault. Not assault at all. She gets away with it because no one wants to challenge Franziska von Karma. Also, I had mentioned this last month because when I went to the Renaissance Fair, they had like either like a whip cracking demonstration or like, you know, a class where they taught you how to crack whips, and the sound was unbelievable. And so when I came back, I was joking, like at the Red Fair, to Iduna, and also to you guys, I'm like, I don't know how anyone in the Ace Attorney universe isn't dead, considering all of the whip cracking Franziska does in close proximity. Like they should have like tinnitus. Like there should be some hearing damage. She's well trained. She maybe. But what about poor Gumshoe? Like, how many times has he been whipped? Like, a circular surface. Took a gavel to the head. And you're certain of that, I assume? Your sources are above board? Two trusted medical professionals reached the same conclusion independently. You couldn't ask for more.
Objection!
Objection!
That's certainly good to know. Oh, of what? I am the prosecutor in charge of Interpol's investigation into the underground auction. I like how Ace Attorney 2 ended with Franziska being like, I need to find a way to surpass Miles Edgeworth. And then she comes back very briefly in Ace Attorney 3. And then the next time we see her, she's working for Interpol. Like, she's like, you know what? You can work in your silly municipal / like state judicial courtroom. I'm gonna be international. Good for you, Franziska. You didn't let him get you down. And this murder occurred during that auction. It would be negligent of me not to pursue leads pertaining to related parties, especially the victim. My, you've really become quite the force to be reckoned with, haven't you, my dear? Then all parties are in agreement. The victim died from a blow to the head. Yay! Sadly, the murder weapon itself has yet to be identified. Based on the shape, I might have an idea or two. It was the statue of the thinker. You know, from the first Ace Attorney game. That thing has like a serial killer level of a body count. Like it killed 2 people. But guys, I didn't turn up any other weapons during my investigation. That's because you're an idiot. And yet, One need only think about the setting and an auctioneer's tool, and the answer should be obvious. It was Mr. Excelsior in the courtroom with the auctioneer's hammer. An object with a circular surface, the auctioneer's hammer. All the hammers, so many hammers. What would an auctioneer have readily at hand? An auctioneer's hammer, of course. But we never found one of those. Doesn't mean it don't exist. If the auctioneer was indeed the killer, it does seem a likely candidate for the murder weapon. But without the evidence to support your theory, it remains nothing more than that. Oh, I have the evidence you need right here. Okay. What do we got? Okay, we don't have the hammer. The auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Ah. Can't exactly conduct an auction with a bloody hammer.
Take that!
Miss Hart told us something very important about the auction after the murder occurred. She said that the very prominent sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Now, why would that be? I don't know. I'll tell you why. Thank you, Edgeworth. I couldn't figure it out without you. Because it had just been used in a murder. It was covered in the victim's blood, and you know, they don't carry wet wipes. Because they were a loser. It would need to be disposed of. Isn't that right? Chairman, winner. Awkward. I'll have our people look into this right away. Oh ho ho, you really are like a dog with a bone, aren't you, dear boy? Woof woof bow bow! But if you can't dedicate yourself to a cause when you're young, when can you, He seems very confident we'll never find it. Probably burned it. Very well. A search for the murder weapon will be conducted. In the meantime, this court is in recess. To be continued. Do, 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 do. We'll keep going. We've still got a bit of time. Ideally, I'd like to finish this case tonight, but with these games, you never know how long this stuff's gonna take. Silence in the courtroom, please. Miss Von Karma, if you would be so kind as to update us on the progress of your search. Well, didn't go great, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's not good news, I'm afraid. The entire big building has been searched. I still love that they called it big building. Has been searched from top to bottom. And no auctioneer's hammer was found anywhere. I mean, why? Why would it be in the building? Like... yes, you know, we committed a murder. Let me just leave the murder weapon somewhere on the scene of the crime instead of, like, you know, taking it with me and dumping it into Tokyo Bay. Ah! That is bad news indeed. Then, we have no choice but to move on ahead with the verdict. Such a terrible shame. But I suppose only a fool would have left the murder weapon behind. It's certainly not what I'd expect from a first-rate criminal. No! There's just not enough to work with here. I can't carry us any further on my own. Yes, it really is a tragedy. But such is life, I suppose. I was just thinking back over the defendants I've made plea deals with over the years. People who poured their hearts out to me. Who trusted me with every detail of their crimes. And then when it came to their sentencing, I recommended life in prison every time. For every single one. Oh, if only you could see them, the stupid, dumbfounded looks on their faces. Wow. What a dick. There's nothing more I can do. Kay and I are both. If only we had some proof. I never imagined I would be passing judgment on you in such circumstances. The end of the road, huh? By the power vested in me, Excelsius winner! This court hereby indicts you for your crimes! What? Huh? What on earth's gone into you, Verity? I submit for the court's consideration the case file of a certain incident. Damn. Bait and switch. She's so cool! Namely, the IS-7 incident, a murder that took place 18 years ago. But what does that file have to do with... Wait, you mean... Your late-night visit to this chamber, that was due. Precisely, I came here to retrieve these documents. Though sadly, it would seem that I arrived too early to catch the auction itself. When we spoke of the matter before, I implied that I had come to retrieve files pertaining to your own case. You'll have to forgive me. That was a ruse to buy myself more time. Rip. What the heck are you doing, Gavel? You can't just accuse my dad. Well, why not? Without proper grounds, it's defamation. An excellent observation, Eustace. It is? And of course, I have the grounds to make such an accusation. Years ago, Mr. Manfred von Karma had some details about the victim's body fabricated. Oh, it all ties together. Details he was forced to fabricate when the sculptor Artie Frost's body went missing. My papa? Fabricating information? Francisca, did you forget the whole first game? You know this. Ian Sideman? I am a Sideman. That's the pun. Incredible. The detective originally assigned to the case did in fact report that the body had gone missing. However, it seems that a certain someone wasn't very pleased with Mr. Von Karma and deliberately withheld that information in order to bring him down a few pegs. Whoa! This individual refuses to allow anyone to go against their wishes or to challenge their power. And they're known to go to extreme lengths in order to bring those who defy them to heel. 18 years ago, they were no different. What? She was responsible for the fake report? Well, wait, you have to understand, Grandma. She's not a bad person. He had to do what he said. She didn't have any choice. Uh-oh. The person in question was the chief prosecutor at the time. The chief prosecutor 18 years ago. No! No. The man who gave Papa the first penalty of his career! Excelsior's winner! It was you! You fell asleep, Zexu! How dare you! Welcome back! I was already doing the voice. I had to carry through with the momentum.
Objection!
What are you talking about? My dad would never do something like that!
Overruled.
opinion on the matter is not needed here. Confirmation bias. Well, Chairman Winner, do you have anything to say for yourself? All that nonsense with the body, that was Manfred's doing. Such a willful boy. You're really calling Manfred Von Karma boy. Y'all are like the same age, or you were. Von Karma was executed. 68, yeah. Who are you calling boy? And the fake autopsy report, Hilda. How could you? I can't believe you naughty kids would do such dishonest things behind my back.
Hold it!
You could just ask her why she did it. She is just standing right over there after all. Wait, Grandma, can't she? Ow! Grandma, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I... Right. Exactly. I did it. Everybody would have found out about what you did. They said he was going to charge you if I did help them with their plan. He said he would, that he would. I just had to do what the auctioneer said. Welp. So you were coerced into it, were you, Miss Needler? Oopsies. This is just a little bit awkward. And just to be clear, the auctioneer was Chairman Winner. I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. The person forcing me to help them was the auctioneer. And they definitely looked to be about the same build as the chairman, but I never saw their face. Well, there must be something, any detail, no matter how small. Oh! Wait! Their mask didn't cover their whole face, and the part that wasn't covered had a tattoo on it. Huh? A tattoo?
Objection!
Oh, but he has a beard. But wait, then... Is that his hair? Like, it's not actually a beard, it's just his hair wrapped around his face? There's no tattoo anywhere on my face. I think I'd know if there was one, wouldn't you? Which means I came to be the ringleader no matter how much you might want me to be. I only hope you could figure out who the shameful, shameless manipulator might be. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Overruled!
Your contempt for this courtroom is an insult to the goddess. Are you sure it's not you who's feeling insulted here? I am not the only one who's been trying to bring you to justice. Miss Rainer has been too. And I refuse to let her sacrifice be in vain. Young Rosie was looking to take me down, you say? But why? I barely knew her. I've always had a certain magnetic charm, but I don't remember ever catching that particular eye. You barely knew the victim? Why, I do believe that is a new statement. The goddess demands that you offer your full testimony on the record. So that's how it's gonna be, huh? You mean to hound me until I finally break? Well, if that's the way you want to play it, fine. I'll destroy you all. Every last one of you! I doubt we'll get another chance to put him on the stand. So, let's make the most of this opportunity. Of course, Your Honor. Ka-chunk. Now, Chairman Winner, you will tell this court everything you know. But we never really had any personal interactions, at least none that I remember. I had no motive to murder the poor girl whatsoever. So you don't mean to accept any part in this? That he is not. How could he be? He's my dad, the winner of winners. Okay. That is sure is a statement. That's very kind of you, Eustace, but you'll need more than mere words if you're planning to cover for me. Right, you got it. I won't let them pin this on you. I believe in you, Dad. You'll beat Edgeworth. I know you will. Yes, you really are such a sweet, simple child. That is not a compliment. That is not a compliment. He really loves his dad, huh? But that's no excuse for him to ignore his father's crimes. No matter how much he respects him. So true. So true, bestie. Regardless of their station in life, all criminals will be made to atone for their sins in time. This won't be easy on Mr. Winner. The young one, not the old one. But it has to be done. We can't let his father get away with this. As a member of the committee. Okay. Can we not look at the recording? Darn it. Because there was a recording in that little plushie. And I wanted to double check what I said, but I'm pretty sure he said he'd recognized Rosie anywhere because of the burn mark on her hand. Yeah, thanks, Francisca. I'm trying to help Kay. I don't care about you. Yeah, I figured. Nice to see she really is worried for Kay in her own Francisca sort of way. Okay, I mean, if she was on the committee, you obviously had some personal interactions, no matter what.
Hold it!
So you're saying you barely knew the victim at all? That's exactly what I'm saying, my boy. Yes, why, I never even knew about that burn mark on her hand. Oh, it's a really prominent burn mark. Didn't. I mean, what's the point? You get to know someone and before you know it, they're gone. Yeah. Such a pain to remember things about others. They're here one day, gone the next. So why do you even remember your son's name? Like... Yes, because they dare to stand up to you and you make them disappear. If you could please add your remarks about the victim's burn to your testimony. Yeah, like how would you not know about a giant burn mark? You sure you didn't know about the burn mark? You really don't let up, do you? I'm not in the habit of memorizing who has a scar in their hand and who doesn't. But if it's very big and noticeable, though. But this wasn't just any old scar. I'd say it's pretty noticeable, in fact. It was basically the equivalent of Zuko's from Avatar. Perhaps under normal circumstances, but now that I think about it, Miss Rainer did always wear gloves. Truth be told, I wasn't aware of the burn mark until after the incident myself. The victim's hands were always covered by a pair of gloves. It makes sense, of course. People can be very self-conscious about such things. Freaking Kyoko from Danganronpa all of a sudden. I can only sympathize being something of a sensitive soul myself. I hope you're not too sensitive to append that statement to the testimony. Although I was always wearing gloves. Alright. New statement. Was about to mention her, yeah. Same wavelength. We never did find out exactly what happened to her hands other than they were scarred from some incident, so she could have some really gnarly burn marks on her hands. Okay, yeah. It's gotta be this. So, Miss Rainer always wore gloves. Excuse me, if she did, that raises a rather important question and highlights quite a contradiction. A contradiction, you say? Really? If we listen again to the conversation that was captured by the stuffed cow, coincidentally, I saw a headline for an article online talking about how apparently cow plushies are the most popular stuffed toy for children right now. Interesting timing. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Cows are in. Cows are in. Nothing to say for yourself? I've waited so long for this day, and now I'll finally have my revenge. We can be reasonably certain that what we just heard is the moment the victim was attacked. I knew it was you the moment I saw you. Can't hide that burn from me. We assumed those were the words of the killer. And? What's the problem in that? It seems like a perfectly reasonable assumption to me, but except no one apparently knew about, her burn marks, so the killer has a burn mark. Were these two both in a fire then, I guess? I'm afraid not, Chairman Winner. For you see, if the victim was always wearing gloves, just as you had testified, then the burn mark on her hand should not have been visible to her killer.
Objection!
You speak as if gloves can't be easily removed. She could have taken them off during the auction. And have everyone see a very identifiable mark on her. I don't think so. That's... But she hadn't! She was still wearing them when I changed places with her. So they must have been on her hands when she was being murdered, too. What are you saying, my dear? You do know how much trouble you're in, don't you? I'm not scared of you anymore. I have Grandma on my side now. Grandma's gonna whip his ass. Now it's time for you to pay the piper, winner, you danged devil! I see you're both looking to disappear too. That can be arranged. Wow! Threatening them in a courtroom full of lawyers? That's not subtle at all. Not this time, winner. The only person disappearing will be you.
Objection!
Into a jail cell, because you know we're not gonna do anything illegal here. Who cares if the burn was covered up? Why does that even matter?
Objection!
Oh, it matters. Because it turns out our understanding the burn mark on its head. Ow! What do you mean? What can't the fact the victim's burn mark was covered up tell us? The murderer had a burn mark too. Think about it like this, Mr. Winner. The victim was wearing gloves, therefore, the burn mark on her hand would not have been visible. In which case, whose burn mark was it that was being referenced in the recording? Somebody who, was it the victim? Precisely. Which can only mean that the culprit had a prominent burn mark, too. They had a very bad time, or to put it another way, I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn mark from me. Those words were spoken not by the murderer, but by the victim. No way! Yeah, they were using
Objection!
so we couldn't tell who was who. Eustace, my boy, would you mind stepping aside for a second? I need to choke a bitch. Look, Miles, it's nice to see you having fun with your little flights of fancy, but let's get serious. So the murderer had a burn mark now. Really? Where? Your little theory will either take flight or die, depending on your answer here, I'm afraid. It's not messing around. I have to figure out where that burn mark was and fast. I wonder where it could have been. All of the auction people were wearing disguises, right? Yes, and each disguise was different. Yet, in spite of that, the burn mark was visible to the victim somehow. Which means... Well, shall we? Enlighten us, why don't you? Where was the murderer's burn mark? I assume you have some evidence. Oh god. I know it's on the face. Because it has to be, right? Because Needler said she saw a tattoo, so she probably meant a burn mark or something. But, where? What evidence do I use? Also had a tattoo on the... Ah, there we go, there we go, there we go.
Take that!
Here is my evidence. The outfit the ringleader was wearing throughout the auction. Or rather, the outfit you were wearing, Chairman Winner. Oh, and what exactly is that supposed to tell us, I just realized something. Okay. So, remember how I said, oh, like, his beard not, like, actually his beard? Is it just his hair pulled forward? Needler had said there were 2 wigs in the box. A straight one and a wavy one. That's a wig! That is not his... That is not a beard. It's a wig. I figured it out!
Objection!
A suit, white gloves, and a mask. This disguise should have covered almost all of your skin, but according to Nurse Needler's testimony, the auctioneer's mask didn't quite cover your entire face. And not only that, she claims to have seen a tattoo on the part that was exposed. But was it a tattoo, or did she simply mistake a burn mark for one? A burn mark? On the face?
Objection!
Hi, Butter! Sorry to interrupt while you're so clearly enjoying yourself, Yuki boy. But I regret to inform you that none of the committee members has such a burn. Myself included, of course. But Dad, I mean... He does have a burn. Eustace? Do you think you can be quiet, please? You can be foolish on your own time later. Well, you might be annoyance most of the time, Winner. But on this particular occasion, I'm grateful for your presence. A reaction like that from you, his son, is as good an indicator of the truth as I could have hoped for. And it gives me a much-needed confidence boost concerning another theory of mine. Namely, one that was unexplainable. What's the matter with Mr. Winner? I think he might be in shock, after all. He's usually the last to figure things out. Wow, Roasted. But in this case, he seems to have gotten there all too quickly. He knows that his father is indeed the real murderer. Well, that would be a really crappy realization. He's sad because he knows the truth? So it's better not to know the truth at all? No, Kay. It's what we came here for. It doesn't matter how we get there. The important thing is finding the truth. You yourself told me that once. Right when I needed to hear it the most. And now, it's time for me to repay the favor and show you the truth of your innocence. I want to know, too, the truth of what really happened. So please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you show me? And then I will conveniently get over my amnesia right at the end. I very much intend to. You don't know when to give up, do you? Nah, we're stubborn. Where is this burn, then? Perhaps you could point it out to me. On your own body? I mean, sure. Like, if you insist. But you can't, can you? Because it's nowhere to be found, just like your evidence that I'm the killer. Yeah! Hunt for contradictions all you like. You won't find any. Smooth. Because he's my dad! A winner through and through!
Objection!
I understand, Mr. Winner. I completely understand why you don't want to believe it's true. But, if you ignore the truth now, you'll regret it for as long as you live. Dad, what do I do? Just don't understand it. How could I have raised such an utter buffoon? You really wish to help your father, Eustace. You can try thinking on your own for once in your life, you useless nitwit. But I try all the time, Dad. All I do is try. I went to the school you wanted me to go to. I aced every test. Look at my jacket. They only give these to the valedictorian. I did everything you told me to. I worked like crazy and graduated top of my class. I tried to be just like you and win as many trophies as I could.
Objection!
You really are just a simpering simpleton, aren't you? Yikes. Those tests you aced, I had the school give you perfect scores on all of them. No! Oh, man. That's sad as hell. Like, nepotism sucks, but in this case, Eustace really thought he earned his place. He had no idea. Oh, man. Those debate and speech competitions you won, the judges were all friends of mine. never even realized that much. There's no hope for you, I'm afraid. None at all. Oh. You're no son of mine. Even you must see that. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's understandable. Gone, my own son, they all leave in the end. Yeah, and whose fault is that one? Oh, I mean, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Even when he was trying, he was failing, and he did it all for me? Then he should have tried harder. You're a disgrace! You don't deserve to be a father, and you certainly don't deserve to be a chairman of this committee. Ain't that always how it goes? The people who would be great parents are never able to become parents. The people who are scum of the earth have like 12 kids. Even I feel sorry for the boy now. Yeah, I don't think even Von Karma ever went, that far. Poor Mr. Winner. Explain yourself, Chairman Winner. Just what do you think your son is to treat him in such a way? An utterly useless pawn sounds about right. Jesus. But you're one to talk, Verity. You tried to worm your way into my trust by using Eustace, too. Who, me? Nah. Not at all. I cannot deny it. However, I never thought of him as a mere pawn. He may not be a naturally gifted prosecutor, but he tries. In some ways, tries harder than anybody. That's what I had witnessed during my time with him. Yet, you would call him useless? How could you?
Objection!
Oh, because he is Verity, my girl. He is utterly incapable of doing anything I ask of him. Mr. Edgeworth, I entrust my offering to the goddess to you, so that you may use it to call her final judgment onto Excelsius Winner. Thank you, Your Honor. I've been more than ready to do so. If the ringleader had a visible burn mark on their face that night, then it would follow that Chairman Winner is currently hiding that mark somehow. Honestly, it's kind of crazy. How exactly was he dressed during the auction? That will be my key to solving this case at last. Now then, your answer. What piece of evidence? on. Does this... Ah! Yeah, there we go. The wigs.
Take that!
My theory! Recall Nurse Needler's testimony, if you will. There was one thing we never quite resolved. The second wig. The one that wasn't used. I seem to remember it being... wavy? What are you two talking about? Nurse Needler apparently found some very interesting items when she went to swipe places. Swipe? Swap. When she went to swap places with the victim. And? What did they have to do with the burn mark? What she found were 2 wigs. One was intended to make her look more like the victim. But what was the other one for? I don't suppose it was meant to be a spare. It doesn't take a huge leap of imagination to see the truth. Compare Chairman Winner's appearance to that of the ringleader as described to us. Stop it! Stop staring at me! And a very prominent difference presents itself. His face, or rather, what's around it. You mean... it wasn't a wig after all? Indeed, not a wig intended to go on top of the head in any case. It was a fake beard! This why this is all my own, dear boy. Well, you just gotta give it a nice tug then, and we'll find out, huh? How very unkind of you to suggest otherwise.
Objection!
We saw how your son reacted when he realized the truth. And how he desperately tried to cover for you, even in light of his realization. Yet, you still fear that he might expose you, so rather than take that risk, you bullied him until he couldn't take it anymore. Because he knew that your beard hides a prominent burn mark. Chairman Winner? I insist that you remove your beard! That's quite the sentence. Whoa! Oops. Is that a beard mark or is that a tattoo? It is perfectly shaped like a skull. There it is! Mr. Edgeworth? For bringing evil to justice before the eyes of the goddess. You have my thanks. No, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. Excelsius Winner! In the name of the goddess, I hereby pronounce my verdict. Guilty. of the murder of Miss Rosie Rayner, this court finds you guilty. Go frick yourself. Mr. Edgeworth, I can't thank you enough. You never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. That was very kind of you. There's no need to thank me. As a prosecutor... No, as a friend, it was the least I could do. Mr. Edgeworth, rejoice. I've learned that Chairman Winner has been safely delivered to the detention center. The search for the missing auction hammer continues. However, we are talking about Chairman Winner here, so it's highly likely that it has already been destroyed. In addition, there is one other matter I must inform you of. The chairman made a rather strange statement. According to him, the letters were not part of his plan. What? How could that be? He claims that he and Miss Needler found this letter on Miss Rayner's person. And that they found a second letter on Kay's unconscious body. From their contents, the letters seemed to be ones of correspondence. So he led to the conclusion that they must have been working with each other. That's quite the conclusion to jump to. So he read the letters, and that's when he came up with the idea to frame Miss Faraday for Rayner's murder. So he decided to place the victim in a very conspicuous place. Namely, in her left chest pocket. Sounds to me like he was just trying to make excuses for himself. Yes, I certainly thought the same. Perhaps it was some sort of last-ditch ploy on his part. But it matters not. He will answer to the goddess now. And under her scrutiny, such strategies cannot hope to succeed. He will not escape justice. And with that, one of the duties with which I have been entrusted with is complete at last. Judge Gavel, before you go, can you tell us what you know about how Chairman Winner came to murder Miss Rayner? There's more there, isn't there? Yes, and I suppose you have earned the right to the whole truth. Miss Rayner once had a lover, a press photographer. He was investigating the underground auctions as a freelance journalist. But before he could uncover the truth, he disappeared. All Miss Rayner was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction. Unfortunately for her, her opponent struck first. I see. So that's the story behind this case. While the goddess does not condone acts of wanton vengeance, Mr. Rainer's actions have exposed Miss Chairman Winner's crimes at last. So that was your real goal. You were tasked with exposing Excelsius Winner and the corruption at the heart of the committee. Does anyone know what happened to Mr. Winner? I'm afraid I have been unable to get in touch with him. Do you have any idea why? Probably because I wasn't there for him just now when he needed me the most. Oh. I feel really bad for him. Well, don't pity him too much. At least he knows the truth now. That is not always a great comfort to people, but I get it. And no matter how hard it might be, he'll need to learn to accept it. If he can't, he'll never be able to move on with his life. Trust me. Oh, Francisca, she knows. A father's influence isn't easily erased. But in time, he can hopefully try and change his ways. You're right. You've got to be. Can I change too, I wonder? Can I move on with my life? Are you okay, Kay? How's that head feeling? I'm fine. Thank you? I'm so sorry, Kay. You were my patient. I had a responsibility to you, and instead I let them accuse you of— Ow! Dang right, we ain't just in the business of fixing bodies, Missy's the mind's where it all begins. You're right, Grandma. Speaking of which, how's your memory? It's like with a little more time, maybe I'll be able to remember some more? Please forgive me. I had better be on my way. I am to preside over the trial of Fifi Lagarde in a bit. Yes. The Bronco Knight case, huh? Who's the defense attorney? It was supposed to be Miss Rainer, but as she is no longer with us, we are still in the process of finding her replacement. Miss Rainer was scheduled to represent Warden Lagarde? And of course, until we find Eustace, there's nobody to act for the prosecution either. Oh, how convenient. In any case, I must take my leave. Well, wait, please! What about Mr. Edgeworth's badge? What's going to happen to it now? With its chairman under arrest, the committee's activities have been suspended for the time being. So, to answer your question, it's complicated. It's up to the goddess now. But... Don't worry about it, Kay. It's a consequence of my own making. And I assume you do not mean to change your mind? Of course not. I chose the path of truth. And I chose it willingly. With Chairman Chairman Winner out of the picture, justice is in the hands of the righteous once more. If you did wish to follow the path of the prosecutor again, Mr. Edgeworth, I would be more than happy to facilitate such a decision. It's very kind of you to offer, but I can't accept your help at this time. I can't ask for my badge back when I'm not even sure if I want it anymore. I see. It seems we are destined to continue on different paths then. Well, I trust you'll keep my badge safe until they converge again. With all I have. In the meantime, I have here a token of the goddess's mercy. You may return this notebook to its rightful owner. Case Promise Notebook. Seems it was due to be sold in the auction. What the fuck? And with the name K written on its cover. Chairman Winner made the connection immediately and knew who it belonged to. It was the same name as on one of the letters, after all. The letters he claimed to know nothing about. I suppose he insisted he didn't prepare them. Yes. He also had something else to say. Apparently, he thought that Miss Faraday was after her notebook, and that Miss Raynor was after his life. And that their respective goals are what led them to cooperate and infiltrate the auction together. Unfortunately for him, he misread the situation entirely. It was all just happenstance. If Kay had known a defense attorney who was also a member of the committee, there was no way she wouldn't have told me. That just isn't like her. Your belief in her is touching. While the notebook did become a part of Chairman Winner's cover-up scheme, it is also a treasured possession of Miss Faraday's, which is why I would like for her to have it back, as I am sure would the goddess. Thank you. I pray that it helps her recover her lost memories. Yeah, we all gotta start keeping diaries. You never know when you're gonna need it to help you recover from amnesia. Is everything alright? Judge Gaval wanted me to return something important to you. Oh my god! Special CG! Isn't that? Always greet people with a smile. Even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Aww. Daddy! I wrote them all down, Daddy! Yeah! I'm gonna keep all my promises and be a real hero when I grow up. Just like you! Oh, wait! I forgot to write one down. The most important promise of all. Oh no. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I remembered it just how you said it, and now I'll never forget it. Wow! Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. That's right. I have to try. Oh, there she goes. I'm Kay Faraday, the Great Thief! convenient anime amnesia gets resolved as easily as it appears. Can't say I'm not a little bit embarrassed, but yeah, I'm back. He never stopped helping me, even when I was totally lost and couldn't remember anything. Thank goodness. You certainly seem to be back. Okay! So this is the real you, huh? Welcome back. It's so good to know you're better. I can sleep easy now. Now that you found it, don't you dare go losing your memory of yours again, ya hear? Miss Needler, Dr. Hartz, thanks a lot for looking after me. And if you really are better, how about we get you out of that danged hospital? Oh yeah, I washed your clothes for you. Here. I thought they were with Detective Gumshoe. I handed them over after they came back from forensics. And did he happen to mention if forensics found anything of note? I didn't ask? Anyway, put them on, Kay. I want to see. Please go somewhere else to change first. Wait, what about our bandages? Oh, it's probably fine. Ow! She may have taken a big old bump to her head, but she wasn't really hurt otherwise. Then why all the bandages in the first place? Prevention is better than cure. A stitch in time saves 9. Those are just a few of my mottos. Both of which sound like painfully annoying practices for your patients. Okay, Kay, transformation time. And shit! Yahoo! Fits like a stolen glove. That smile suits you better. Sheesh! As it always did. They're the same age, technically. It's easy to forget. Thanks to you too, Miss Von Karma. I'm so glad you showed up when you did. I simply came because when Scruffy asked me to. I'm sure he'll be very happy to see you're back to your old self. Speaking of Gummy, where is he? Who knows? Who cares? Perhaps the well of his devotion ran dry when a certain someone threw away his badge. Ow. Detective Gumshoe. Anyway, I have to be going, and I'll be taking these two with me. Wait! What's going to happen to them? Jail! Acting as an accomplice in a murder and forging an autopsy report 18 years ago. Their crimes can't be allowed to go unpunished. Rip. But the fact that Excelsior's winner coerced them into cooperating will, of course, be taken into account. Yay! Thank you, Francisca. Don't you worry about us, Kay. As long as Grandma and me are together, we'll be alright, and they get sent to separate prisons. until we meet again. So, Kay, I know you only just got your memory back, but I need to ask you some questions. Sure, ask away. What happened the day you lost your memories? What were you doing? Let's see. Somebody asked me to meet them at Gourd Lake. Oh god, not Gourd Lake. That place is cursed at this point. But I didn't know who it was. So there I was, just looking up at the moon when somebody in a red raincoat started walking towards me. So she wasn't even at the building. She was at the lake. They must have drugged me somehow, because that's when I fell unconscious. What? I'm not sure I follow it. It ain't that hard, Edgeworth. Kay was at Gourd Lake? Anyway, when I came to, I was on the roof of this building. I was in a daze, stumbling around when I saw the person in the red raincoat again. They were lying on the ground. I was so surprised I stumbled back. And then I was falling and everything went dark. When I came to the second time, I couldn't remember anything. The person in the red raincoat. Who in the world were they? I'm sure they were walking in midair. Ah! Thinking about it makes my head hurt. Just breathe, Kay. It's fine. Deep breaths. You only just got your memory back. You're still confused. I imagine the root cause of your confusion is your memories of two different locations. I imagine things are all mixed up in your mind because you were at Gourd Lake 1 minute, and then at the top of the big building the next. And because you saw the moon in both locations, your mind blended your memories of the two together. Huh? But those are two totally different places. I know I was pretty out of it, but I don't think I could have gotten them confused that easily. Thing on the roof.
Take that!
Food stall? There are two key similarities between the scene down on Bygord Lake and here on top of the building. Cherry blossoms and food stands. You know, the two very, very common things. Oh. Wait, you're right! These similarities are what caused your memories of both places to overlap. The person in the red raincoat wasn't walking in midair. They were walking towards you from across the park. But in your blurry memories, the same sight played out over the viewing platform instead. No way! Who just steals a great thief's memories, huh? That's just cheating. Even still, this doesn't answer the question of who attacked Kay in the park. Was it the person in the red raincoat she saw? Was it Shelly the killer? The fuck? What in the Amber Alert? Did you hear that? It sounds like it's coming from up in the storeroom. Let's go take a look. Woo-wee! I smell another scoop in the offing. You're still here? Anyway, we're just gonna calmly walk. The shutterbug's going crazy out here. It's coming from this little gadget here. I was Shelly the Killer's transceiver. This transceiver? I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. Yeah, in the second Ace Attorney game. It's still going. But I'm no good with technology. Come on, you have to pick it up. Fine, I'll do it. Hey, this is Edgeworth. Okay, if you could refrain from answering strange calls for me. Mr. Edgeworth, I presume. I know that voice! Shelly the Killer! Congratulations on another case solved. Yet, I can't truly say it's been fully resolved, can you? I'm sure you've noticed by now that there was a mastermind at work orchestrating the entire incident. How do you even know about this case? That's not what's important right now. Let's focus on the certain individual for the time being, shall we? I have indeed been wondering myself if somebody else could have been involved. If not, how are we to explain the piece of evidence that proved so damning to Kay's case? No way! An evil mastermind? But who? Who indeed? Perhaps you could share your thoughts? What is the evidence in question that points to somebody else's involvement? The letter. Is that the right one, though?
Take that!
Sorry. Oh, what? Okay. Oh, this one?
Take that!
Too many similar pieces of evidence. F my life. The letter K supposedly wrote to the victim. Yeah, I don't even remember writing that. So who did? Who would prepare such a thing? I know I'm not the only one who would like to know. And how do we know it wasn't you, huh? Now why would I do a thing like that, I believe the truth can only fully come to light in a court of law. But since you've had your badge revoked, that is no longer an option. So how will it all end? I, for one, will be watching from the sidelines with interest. Even knows about my badge? Oh, and one last thing. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Now, I bid you farewell. Beep! What the heck did he mean by the case hasn't been fully resolved? Why is he so interested in us anyway? Everything's just one giant ball of mysteries. Seems we've only scratched the surface of this case. But even without my badge, I'm going to carry on doing what I can. However this ends, one thing's for certain, come what may, I will expose the truth! The end! Yay! At last! Yahoo! Last case! Yeah! And then we're on to Apollo Justice. We get to see Phoenix again. Yahoo! And a whole zany cast of new characters. Let's go! Yeah! Woo! So exciting! Alrighty. Not sure what I'm gonna do for stream tomorrow, since this week's just been flying by the seat of my pants. But unless I'm really feeling unwell, I will see you guys tomorrow for something. For now, though, it's later than I usually stop. But you know, had to wrap things up. We were so close. Alrighty. Toko's streaming! We haven't been able to catch Toko in forever. Alrighty, here is Raid. Discord. Here's merch. And if any of y'all are still here / awake, thank you for today. Alrighty, so if it's daytime where you are, have a wonderful rest of your day. And if it's nighttime, have a great rest when you head on off to bed. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Wash your face, brush your teeth, eat a good food. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye! Bye-bye!